With every call for help,
Policing is more stressful now than it ever has been.
every gunshot, every car crash, every day, the life of a police officer is grueling,
Mental health is a real concern.
physically and emotionally.
I'd say it's one of the top 3 in law enforcement today.
I spent time with Newport News Police Chief Steve Drew, going beyond the badge to get a better idea of what happens in an officer's mind after a traumatic call.
The things that officers see, that they respond to, things that I wish individuals never had to see.
From the loss of an officer in the line of duty to calls of violence involving children.
Think about it. You go to a traumatic event, and once that event is over and cleared, I got to be careful of putting those officers right back in the same situation. It's important that we make sure that we take care of the men and women who do this job on a daily basis.
That's where people like Sandra Cherry come in.
You have to have a heart for it. This is a calling.
Cherry is a volunteer chaplain with the Newport News Police Department,
These are the shirts,
one of about a dozen,
and then these are our hats.
who spends time with officers in the moments and the months after a tragedy.
We hear the hurt, we hear the pain, so we can walk with them in this journey.
A recent survey of police officers found 12% reported a mental health diagnosis. About a quarter reported current symptoms of mental illness. But of those officers, only 17% actually sought help.
I think sometimes it's the stigma that if I say I'm not okay, that there's going to be judgment or condemnation.
The chaplains work to break that stigma just by being there for officers and for community members.
I go on a call and I can sit with a family, and I'm tearing up now, but every time I can sit with a family and walk with them in this journey, especially when it's a loss, a homicide, that's a painful place to be.
Back at his office, Chief Drew hopes to create change by setting an example. He requires regular therapy sessions for department leadership, including himself.
I think it helps create the environment or atmosphere that it's okay, that it is acceptable. And I'm not any different than anyone else.
Building a more well-rounded police officer, ready to face the next call.
I think someone who can look at themselves in the mirror and say, that was a hard situation for me. I'd like to talk to somebody. I think that is a person that's probably more balanced and stronger than those who try to hold it in.